few extra bodies out there with some of these receivers coming back?
Yeah, real nice. Good to have the guys that kind of had spring ball and fall camp with back in the mix. Good to see them out there. It just brings good energy more as much as anything. Schooler and his leadership, and Micah being young, being back out there and having the impact he had early in fall camp, and then it was good. So our guys are excited to see those guys back moving again. There'll be some rust, as we all know, but obviously good to have those guys back.
Particularly this time of year, I mean, 4 games in now, can it be kind of a nice thing to kind of be able to shake things up and bring some new guys in to kind of get guys seeing some different bodies in there that they're competing against?
Yeah, I think when you add good players to the mix at any time, I think it got a chance to lift your group up. We're not talking about 10-year NFL vets, unfortunately, but these guys, like I said, there'll be a little bit of rust, but it's just great to have those guys back that bring good energy to our unit.
The games you played so far, have you had to be cognizant that maybe the receiver group didn't have the depth and take an effort to keep them fresh
Absolutely.
through the course of the game?
Yeah,
How does it open now?
I think we've talked endlessly about that in the first 4 weeks, going into the barrage of guys that ended up down and going back to week 1, and then trying to manage guys throughout the course of the game. Examples like Red, who doesn't have much, who plays a lot of plays, and in certain instances in the course of these weeks he's been on IV at certain times during the game, and there's calls and things and packages that you got to kind of manage. And so yeah, I think with the guys that we had, they did an awesome job, and managing the numbers based on our injuries was something we had to do in these first 4 weeks, and it'll continue to be that way, because I don't think that you're going to have a chance to just plug guys in right away and just ramp them right up. You got to kind of do that carefully. I know that's what we'd all like to see, is just plug and play and ramp it all back up. But there's going to be some rust, and there's going to be some guys that are going to be moving around a little bit and thinking a little bit, and that'll be good.
I'm sorry if I'm doubling up here. Is the running game coach said that it was a little bit out of sync in the past couple of weeks here. What was the big thing that you guys worked on in this bye week, especially getting guys like CJ and Travis going?
Well, without getting into exact details and giving anything away more than anything, just a chance to watch it all together and see where things are with the backs and the line, and getting things like the word sync, getting back into sync in regards to certain things we do and certain looks and certain fronts and certain schemes that may have a chance to give us an impact, and I think that it's all collectively seeing it with some of the stuff we're doing now is going to help us, and that's been good.
For CJ, is that in patience? Is that in whole recognition? I mean, what did you kind of see out of him that you're targeted for improvement?
No, it's not on one person. It's not on just CJ. You're using CJ as an example. CJ's done an awesome job for us, and I think in his second year now, and having a chance to see the run game again from both pistol and from gun, and seeing how double teams work and how gap plays work in certain fronts, and I think gives him a chance to get more reps. And a bye week going in this last week was a chance for us all to sit down and watch it and see how things are blocked and aiming points and landmarks, and I think that was real good. And I have no problem. I have no issue with CJ having a chance to see that and being able to grow.
From week to week, it appears Brian Addison is getting more confident. He's coming off a career high 4 receptions. What do you think makes him different and special from your other receivers?
Brian's done a great job. Obviously, in year 1, coming in and having a chance with some guys and some injuries, really ramping up his reps and having an impact. We've thought a lot about Brian since we started recruiting him, and then he ended up here through transfer. But he did it. He's doing a great job. I think he's got a really good skill set. He's a long body. He's hard off the line of scrimmage. He can catch the ball. He's rangy. Has some run after catch. He's tough. And it's understanding how to play at full speed and at a college level right now. So that's good to see. He's done a really nice job.
Obviously, running backs are such a big part of the passing game last year. I know it's a small sample, but CJ in particular really hasn't been a big factor there. What was that? Was that an area that you guys focused on and addressed these past 2 weeks?
I think it's something that we've always kept in mind as far as those guys' ability to play receiver and be able to do stuff with the ball afterwards last year. I think at that point, those guys were doing a great job out of the backfield, and they will continue to do so. I think given game plans will probably suit that more often than not.
How do you get back into sync between a lineman and a running back? When that word is used so often, is that a timing thing? Is that a chemistry thing? I mean, what is getting back into sync?
Well, I think it's a chance for you guys to put on the film and see how things are blocked and have those guys work together and see certain fronts and certain looks that may be different without getting into specifics and give things away. There's certain things we're doing this year that are a little bit different than last year, and that's part of it. So getting in sync is for the line and the running backs to understand what a certain look would look like, and them doing it collectively to understand how we put it back on track.
Impressions of Cal's defense, and particularly Evan Weaver's a guy who's commanded a lot of attention and put up big numbers. What just are your impressions so far of them?
Cal's defense is great. I mean, they do a great job. They're coached well. They've got good players. They play hard. They've got a good scheme. They're no different than they have been. I think those guys are scrappy, and our guys are excited about the test.
What makes it harder to – because you can take defensive players out of the game, Marcus, by game planning. You can isolate defensive linemen or throw at or avoid defensive backs, but nobody's really able to take this guy out of it game plan-wise. What makes it so hard to try and get around him from an offensive game plan standpoint?
Well, I think sometimes you can do that. Sometimes it's easier to isolate guys who are out of the box than in the box at a lot of levels. He's always on the field on both personnels. They move him around a lot. It's also he's not isolated. He's not just a 3 technique. He's not just a left corner. He plays all over. He'll play inside, outside the box, inside the box, on line of scrimmage, in the mic. So you can't really say where he's going to be, in a given area. So you've got to consider him as part of the play in every play, and he does a really good job. And we've got a good test against him.
You just talked about Jalen having to be on an IV about times in the game. Is it wanting to get his snap count down, or is it the intensity of each snap with kind of bringing this depth back with having more receivers?
No, I just use that as an example and Jalen's an example. Could be anybody. It could be a cramp in one of the games or whatever it may be. I think getting more receivers back just adds depth and the ability for you to be able to say a guy needs a blow, he can take a blow, and so you can do also, you don't have to maybe limit it in certain packages where certain guys haven't done it. You go down 4, 5, 6 guys who did stuff in fall ball, the inventory of things you did with that receiver who's now on the field, i.e. Spencer Webb, you're like, okay, well, shoot, that's not something we've really invested a ton in week 1, 2, and 3 with those guys going out. So now we get a chance for guys to increase that depth, and it'll be great. I think those guys are excited to be back out there and have each other's back.
But the big picture for the league-wide, Marcus, a lot of the major running backs have been lower production so far year over year. Not just CJ or, even, Benjamin had a big week, but he was down heading into it. JJ Taylor was down. I think Josh Kelly was down. Do you notice things defensively in this league so far this season that are just flat out making it harder to run the ball? Not just for you guys, but for everybody right now?
Without getting too, I guess, I think with running the football versus certain structures, certain defenses, there's certain elements in which make it different, getting away with certain things. The box count can change in a lot of sub-fronts or Tiger, 12 personnel, 11 personnel things that defenses do. And I think defenses are understanding that. And I think there's a couple things in there that probably would lend to the fact that the run game in certain packages of what defenses do have a chance to decrease your availability, kind of make it real clean and clear.